Pop, pop, pop. All right, live from the survival pod here in the wasteland. This is Freedom Phil, and today's topic is: if child soldiers in Africa was wrong, then why is it okay in America for protesters to use their children effectively as human shields? Y'all, we're CPS. That's the topic. Yeah, let's get into it. Hey, as I always say, turn up the video speed. And why do I say that? Because shit, man, you're watching me at regular speed. Man, dude, if I upload this, you watch it at 1.75. Why? Video's faster. And as always, this is not a channel for children. I am not your digital nanny. I am not here to be, screen baby and all that shit. Oh, don't say this, don't say that. No, literally, I talk about crass, real subjects. I swear, all that crap. And if you're mad that your kid regurgitates something I say, you're a shitty parent for not knowing what your kids are watching. Next thing is, as I always say, this is my channel. And flat out, if I got a lot of people yakking in the stream, and they ain't contributing much, I'll put it on to subscriber only. Then we'll see who's actually real. Because I only want the real people. I don't want a bunch of robots and retards. You show up saying some shit like, hi, or a bunch of emojis and other stupid shit. Yeah, you'll either get timed out or blocked, and then I'll just filter you out through having subscribers only. Like real people will come. Simple as this. If you bring your child to an officer says, hey, you need to get out of here, that kid, because this is dangerous, and you're like, I'm not leaving, it's my right to protest. Well, it might be your right to protest as an adult, and you might have some rights to protest as a young adult, but if you got young kids in the car and you are literally setting up the situation, or you have them strapped to you like a freaking one of those sane people in the Middle East, a bomber, a fucking explosive vest. You're wearing your child like that. And why? Because you don't want the police to get too rough with you, because they'll catch it on video. Look what they're doing to children. Look what you are doing to your child. And let's take it a step further, because a lot of this is just people with social cred. You got the rich Karens out there that'll be all like, they'll go to the protest. And by the way, 3 people here, not a single like. What the hell? Straight up. These people will show up to these protests because they want to be seen. I want to be on the right side of history. Thank you. And I tell you this. Imagine for a second that some of these people that are clearly, you must be insane to put your child in danger. You are not well in the head putting your child in danger like that. Maybe you need to go to an asylum. Hate to say it, but MAGA, make asylums great again. And watch how quickly a lot of these rich suburban Karens, when they get their children taken away, would stop doing this shit. They'd stop it. But what about the people that are on Section 8? Food stamps. So let me see if we got this right. You know why we help you out when you have kids? Because we care about the children. We don't give a fuck about you. We don't care about you. That's just the truth of it. Well, we care enough about you. Let me give you an example. If you're a guy and you fake crazy because if a woman has the kids, they're going to give the welfare to her and they don't expect you to go to work. If you're a guy, maybe you could fake crazy, get $700 to $800 a month and $200 in food stamps. If you're a woman, we're moving on up to the east side, to a free Section 8 apartment in the skies. We're moving on up. Literally. Free heating, free water, free electricity, free food, free everything. And we're doing that for the child. So the child has a safe place to live. And you have the nerve to bring your child down to a protest? Like you're literally putting your child in the face of danger. You are a shitty parent. You should have your children taken away. Like when the officer says, ma'am, you and your child need to leave this area. This could get violent. And you're like, no, I'm going to be here in your face. It's my right. Okay, detain this bitch and take her children away. She is willing to put her children into danger. She is using her child as a human shield, like a child soldier. She is using her children as a weapon. She is not a good parent. By the way, 6 people here only got 1 like. Shit. By the way, the chat's still open. You guys can talk if you want to. But I'm pointing this out. This is something that needs to change in America. Because a lot of these protesters are just the way they are because there's no consequences for the jackass behavior. You got people trying to set up another Chaz. Let's be real about that. If the local police aren't going to go and crack some skulls, we need the federal police to come in there and be like, you know what, this is over. You're not going to make a little mini. You're not going to make a festering pustule insurrection in our country. Somebody lives in that community. Somebody has a business in that community. They should be able to live about their normal lives. You are effectively kidnapping people from their own property, their own homes. Y'all don't hear me? The reason things are getting as bad as they are is because we got a side of the government that fosters this, tolerates this, lets this happen, makes this happen. It's high time you start using the actual tools of the government to eliminate these people. One way or another. You know, like if you're a parent and you bring your kids to a protest, you are a shitty parent. And what you're doing is not protesting. You're literally getting in the way. And this is what blows my mind. I could understand if it was a protest about something like, you see the people protesting in Iran. By the way, notice how silent the leftists are about the Iranian thing. The Iranians are taking their country back after decades of religious nut jobs. The Venezuelan people were cheering because the dictator, the actual king, no kings protest, no kings. Maduro was a dictator. Maduro was like a corrupt king. Where's all that no kings action now? Now, the people over in Venezuela, they're pretty goddamn happy. Because like for now, maybe there'll actually be food. It won't be like propaganda videos of people with plastic food pretending they're eating something. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. The left, and this is the problem, it doesn't matter what evil there is in the world, as long as it's anti-West, they're for it. And this incestuous, weird bedfellow situation between feminists and the LGBT and the Islama people. You have two groups of people that couldn't hate each other more. One's a fundamentalist nutjob religion. Not all of them are bad, but let's be real. There's a lot of them that are pretty... And then you got the other side that's like, let's trans your kids. Some of these people make David the Divine look normal. If you ain't seen David Divine, look up the clip. The world is burning. Let's masturbate. Literally, David the Divine, funniest fucking shit. Makes David the Divine look normal. You got white, suburban, liberal women putting their children in danger. You got people out there trying to run over police officers with cars. Wow, we want to live in a world where if you don't want to be held accountable for your jackass behavior, all she had to do is just get out of the car, and let's just say they did violate her rights. She could go take it to court and sue the government. Now, I'm not keen on the idea that we all got to pay for that, but instead she's like, her girlfriend, wife, whatever, I think they were a lesbian couple, is like, got it, drive. They wanted to kill that man. And if they could have got away with it, they would have. That guy's already been dragged once. Frankly, what happened to that woman, like I said in the video the other day, like fucking dead body surfboards. That is what it is. Just like with the black community, they don't give a shit about you until you're dead, because then they can use you as a martyr. Like, they didn't care about all George Floyd or any of them until they were dead, because they could race vulture and they're fly in there and feed off his corpse. Guess what? Liberal, white, Karen, liberal women. That's you. And I think you could put an end to all this shit, because the day it stops being popular, to go out there and, act like a fool. We're protesting this. Like the day, and by the way, I want to know who exactly is giving this money to a lot of these senior citizens. Why don't we put those people in prison? Why don't we confiscate all their assets? Like, you're really fomenting riots in our country. That ain't a crime. The people on Section 8 that are out there getting a paycheck to do it. Think about that one for a second. That ain't a crime. I'm saying, if you're going to take your kids to a protest and use them effectively as human shields, then, man, we shouldn't be able to criticize Africa for having child soldiers if somebody else is going to use their child as a human shield. If you're on Section 8 and you're doing that shit, you arrest the parents and charge them with child endangerment. Like, willfully child endangerment. This isn't like you just went to the store to buy something and the kids accidentally set the house on fire. This is literally like you are actively putting your children in the presence of a dangerous situation for your nutty ass political beliefs. You don't care about your children. And honestly, that's the truth about it. A lot of these suburban Karens, they care more about people's opinion of them and them being on the right side than they give a shit about their kids. They treat their kids, let's be honest, there's a lot of middle class or Section 8 middle class suburban scumbags in this country that their attitude with their kids is it's more of a token thing. I love my kids, but not more than you love your TV, not more than you love, your SUV, not more. Some of them, they have a kid and they go right back to working in record time. As soon as they can dump that kid in some sort of daycare, probably not one of the Somali ones, by the way, the ones where we're charging for 100 kids and there ain't no kids here. It's just a warehouse, blacked out windows. As quick as you could take your kids and throw them into a daycare and then you're back off to your job. Okay. But your kids are more of a token. And then you see this like token virtue signaling nonsense, whether it's the Section 8 people or the upper class suburban Karens, putting their kids in danger on purpose. Where's CPS? That's all I'm saying. If you put your kids in the line of danger purposely, like if the officer says, hey, you need to get you and your kid out of here, this is a dangerous situation, and you refuse to move your kids the fuck out of a dangerous situation, then your kids should be taken away from you. Just saying. Anyhow, thanks for the likes. I'm surprised there ain't no comments. But hey, maybe YouTube's mad at me again. We're not going to let people chat in your deal because you're too real. God damn, I'm real. Freedom Phil, like, subscribe. It's another day at the Survival Pod. Thanks for the like, by the way. I'm going to try to upload this. Let's see if it uploads. I think YouTube's pissed at me. Y'all have a great day. Peace.